Hi, I'm Lauren Kuby, Council Member, City of Tempe, and I'm running for re-election, hoping that you'll keep Kuby. Election day is only 5 days away, so if you haven't turned in your ballot, please don't mail it, but drop it off at City Hall, where there'll be free parking provided, or at the library. So it's been my honor to be on this council these past 3 years, and this council, I am so proud and humbled to serve on the council. I worked together with Robin, with Colby, with Joel, with Mark, with David and Randy and Corey Woods before him, and we've accomplished so many good things in this city. We started the whole equal pay issue in Tempe, and we now have model legislation. We did a pre-K program that is the first in Arizona. Tonight we're going to be voting on a renewable energy initiative that will be the first in Arizona to take on that challenge. So Tempe is a city that truly leads. And beyond that, we are a city that takes our budget very responsibly, and we are very good stewards of our budget. We have a very healthy budget picture, and we're very conscious of the fact that, I know when I talk about sustainability issues, I'm talking about bottom line, not necessarily triple bottom line of environment, economy, and equity, but just bottom line and saving our taxpayers money. It's been my honor to be on this council. I'm so hoping to serve another 4 years because I think there's much more that we can be doing in sustainability and transparency, in campaign finance reform, in worker protections, and in parks, improving our parks and integrating the arts into the parks. It's been my joy to be on this council, and I'm hoping to have your vote in the next few days. I also wanted to put in a word for Genevieve Vega, who is running for city council as well. I've known Genevieve for 12 years, mostly through her work on the Tempe Community Council. She is so knowledgeable about human services, and I'd love to have someone sitting beside me. I'm at the advanced age of 60, to have a younger person sitting beside me who I can mentor in the ways of council action and work for more human service investment in our community. Jen is an amazing person who works so well with others. She used to be a mediator as one of her jobs, and that would be a good skill to have on our council. But Jen brings so much to this council, and it would be my joy to serve with her. So I would say vote Vega and keep QB. And thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Robin Arredondo Savage, the Vice Mayor here in the city of Tempe, and I cannot tell you what a great community this is and how special Tempe has been to me. Growing up here, it was an incredible childhood. Being a native and a fourth-generation Tempean, Tempe has given so much to me and my family over the years that I really spent the majority of my life always continuing to give back, to making sure that I'm doing what I can do to make the lives of others better. And it's been an honor to be on this Tempe City Council, to work on so many wonderful initiatives, to work with great people, create great partnerships to achieve so many incredible things that we've done with our veterans. We've been able to create a new Veterans Commission, the very first Veterans Housing Project, and we do a Community Salutes program that no other city does. And I'm really proud of the work that we've been able to do here. Also, we've been able to do so much when it comes to education. Being able to build those partnerships, strengthen those partnerships with our educational institutions, and create some really great programs to help fill those gaps. Also, we've been able to do so many really wonderful things when it comes to businesses, being able to support all of our businesses, small, medium, and large, to make sure that they are successful right here in the city of Tempe, and this is the place where they want to be. Also, it's been really great to make sure that we take care of our neighborhoods. I still live in the neighborhood where I grew up, and it's great to see the evolution, but also the investment, how important it is to make sure that we continue to invest in our neighborhoods, in our local parks, so they do become the hub of our neighborhoods. And I haven't been able to do that without the different experiences and the people that I've known in this community for so many years. Not only being on this council, but being a school board member, being really involved in the community with a lot of different clubs and organizations, and also being an Army veteran, all those things coming together to really make a difference right here in the city of Tempe, the town that I love. I can't believe the campaign is almost over. I know everybody else out there can't wait for the campaign to be over. And we only do have a few more days, so I hope that I've been able to earn your vote for re-election. I love this community, and I want to continue to work for you to make this the very best place to live, work, learn, and play. And I just want to give a great shout out to my campaign team and my friends and family who have stood behind me, next to me, in this journey. I couldn't have done it without you. I'm so grateful and appreciative for your never-ending support and friendship and love. I can't thank you enough for always being there for me. It really, truly does mean a lot. And to the residents of this community, thank you for supporting me, for allowing me to come into your homes to have great conversations, and giving me what I need to be able to continue to work for you. So I love this community. I want to continue to work for this community, and I hope that I've earned your vote. And if you haven't voted yet, it's still not too late. You can bring your ballot either to City Hall or the Tempe Library. And if you, for some reason, may have misplaced it or didn't get one, you can get a new one here. Just make sure you bring your ID. So again, if you have any questions, you can go to robinfortempe.com. I'm happy to have a conversation or answer any questions that you may have. And I want to continue to work for the city of Tempe and really make this the best place to live, work, learn, and play. Thank you very much.
My name is Sarah Cater, Sarah Cater, Sarah Cater, Sarah Cater, Sarah Cater. That's the beginning of an actual speech that I gave when I ran for election before for student council vice president in the 5th grade. And I was told that it was really important that people remember your name. So my dad said, just say your name a bunch of times at the beginning of your speech. It turns out that even in other elections, remembering your name is really important, and that's why you'll see big, large street signs with our names around town and yard signs with our name on them. We hope that you remember our name. But I hope what you remember about me, apart from my name, because you do need to remember that for your ballot, but is what sets me apart and what makes me a good candidate for this office. The poverty rate in Tempe is over 20%. That in a city like Tempe is really troubling to me, and it's part of why I'm running. We need someone representing those families that really haven't had a voice. There are definitely certain council members that have made that issue a priority, but I think the council as a whole has not. The 2040 general plan doesn't have the word poverty in it one time. And I think we need to make that a big focus on the Tempe City Council. I think we can't have the growth that's going on downtown and tax breaks for big out-of-state developers without really evaluating if it's benefiting the families in Tempe that really need the most help. I have spent my life's work helping those types of families. I am a civil rights attorney representing people with disabilities who are living in poverty, mostly children with autism, appealing denials of decisions that mean they can't get the services they need in the community. When families contact my agency, we're their last hope. It's a last resort. Everyone has told them no, and no one has listened. And finally, they get to us, and we listen, and we help them. And it has been such an honor to represent families that really have nowhere else to go. Another big part of the work that I do is actually advocacy at the state capitol. We have to work with legislators because we know when we prevent a bad bill from becoming law, we actually help thousands of people with disabilities. And so I've had to go down there and work with legislators with whom I agree and with whom we disagree, and to craft solutions, to say this is why this won't work, and let's try something else. Draft legislation, review policy, come up with ideas, have long meetings into the night trying to figure out how to solve a problem that is really challenging. And so that's what I hoped that you can see in me, is a commitment to helping those that need it most, which I really think is an issue that's happening in Tempe right now, but also the skills and the expertise on how to craft solutions and how to work with people with whom we sometimes might disagree. I hope you'll consider me for one of your 3 votes. As others have mentioned, you still have time. Don't mail your ballot back, but you can drop it off at Tempe City Hall or the Tempe Public Library up until Tuesday, March 13th, 7 p.m. If you'd like more information, you can contact me or find out more at caterfortempe.com. And thanks so much for being a voter. It's really one of our most important civic duties, and I appreciate you all very much. Thank you.
Hello, Tempe. My name is Genevieve Vega. I'm running to be your next Tempe City Council as a continuation of my service in this city. Over 15,000 of you have already voted by mail. Thank you for voting. I can't tell you, for those of you who have sent me personal notes on Facebook or to my email on why you voted for me, I can't tell you how much that means to me in the final days of this election. It's been very, very moving. The conversations we've had at the doors, the phone calls we've had, The tears that we've shared. I spoke with a gentleman yesterday whose number one concern for him from his city council members was about his 21-year-old autistic son. And what would a police officer see in his son if his son is experiencing behaviors in public? And this was something we shared some tears about because I have a 7-year-old daughter with special needs. And before she was diagnosed, I heard a lot of stories about her behaviors and, blaming me for not paying enough attention to her until we found out that it was her own special needs. It was the ADHD that she was living with. This brilliant little girl who was unable to process the emotions that she was experiencing. So this is why I run. I know what it's like to raise children in Tempe. Tempe is the place we chose to raise our family. I'm the only candidate running with children in public schools, a high schooler and an elementary schooler. And this is one of my top priorities, is to partner with our school districts, if elected, of course, partner with our school districts and our state legislature to make sure our schools are safe and strong. I worry about my son every day when he leaves for school on his bike. Is our bike infrastructure safe enough? Is the community safe for him to be riding his bike when it's still dark out when he's trying to get to school in the mornings? These are things that so many of you have shared with me are concerns of yours as well. So I want to help be that voice for other working families in Tempe. I know what it's like to raise a family here. I also know what it's like to run my own business. I'm a professional problem solver. That's what I do. I have certifications in change management, strategic planning, process improvement, and strategic planning that helps companies move forward and deal with their growth challenges. And I think these are skills that I could bring to our council to help make better decisions for our city and rely on my experience with my own family. Now, Sarah mentioned earlier, poverty is such an important issue in Tempe. I've been working on poverty issues in Tempe for more than 6 years now, long before ever running for office. I'm on my second board term with the Tempe Community Council, and one of my other priorities, if elected, will be to work on affordable and workforce housing in Tempe. We know through our recent community needs assessment that this is one of the root causes of families going into crisis in Tempe. And so I've already talked to developers and other interested parties in the city about the barriers and obstacles that we have towards getting more affordable housing. So I'd like to bring my professional and community service experience together to work on some of these issues in Tempe. And my other priority will be communication and transparency. We have so many great programs in the city. Our city has done an incredible job of building such a great community. And what we need to do now is let people know. People need to understand the services that are available if they're in trouble, if they need extra services or food boxes or rental assistance, and it's very difficult to manage. Just this week, I was invited as a Tempe Community Council board member to participate in a poverty simulation. When you understand the pressures that working families in Tempe are facing, you understand some of the obstacles that they're experiencing and can make better decisions for that. So my name is Genevieve Vega. I'm asking you for one of your 3 votes for City Council to continue my service in the city, to make good decisions and smart decisions for our city. Thank you very much.
Hi Tempeans, my name is Justin Stuart and I am also running for Tempe City Council and I'm hoping to get one of the 3 seats that are available in the upcoming election. I want to start this off today. You've heard me talk about many different things and you've seen my face at the door and in other places, but I want to take this moment to say thank you. I want to thank all of my volunteers that have put in countless hours and effort to get our message out of For the Neighbors, by the Neighbors. They have worked tirelessly and have been told many times that we shouldn't be here and we're not in this, but you know something, we're in this to win this, and I would never want to discredit any of my volunteers' work, and they're working very hard for a cause that they believe in. And I appreciate that, and I love them from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank all my supporters and all of my neighbors that have helped get this word out in this election, in this campaign. We've worked very hard to get our messages to different neighborhoods in North Tempe, South Tempe, East Tempe, and West Tempe. about how important the fabric of the neighborhoods of Tempe is and how important it is to have a voice for the neighbors on Tempe City Council. And my supporters and volunteers have gone above and beyond that, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm still looking for more supporters, and I hope that you can be one of them and look more into my campaign and see what we're truly about. I want to be the voice for the neighborhoods on City Council. I've been the chair of the Mitchell Park Neighborhood Association for the last 2 years and been on the board for 5 years. I have daily interacted with the neighbors and made sure the neighbors had their voices heard to City Council and with city staff. I worked on various initiatives ranging from R3 to R2 downzoning initiative that is in works right now over in some of the Northwest Tempe neighborhoods. I've worked with homeless initiatives with the city staff, and I've brought over $45,000 of capital improvement grants into my neighborhood. And that helps out when it takes a little bit more time for the capital improvement projects to get to your neighborhood park to be able to get those grants and bring them in. And I want to make sure all neighborhoods have that type of opportunity to bring that in. I want to bring that experience to Tempe to every single neighborhood. I work closely with other neighborhood leaders with the Tempe Neighborhoods Together group, and I've talked to the South Tempe about their problems and thought of ideas for the water rates, such as old growth rebate programs to help people keep their trees in South Tempe against the tiered water rates. I've thought of ideas of coming to get for climate change, thinking of a 501c4 and reaching out to other cities to get together and work together and go up and find solutions for climate change, because it's going to be affecting all of us in the next 30 to 40 years, if not the next 5 to 10 years. And we need to find solutions and actionable situations to go forward in now. The fabric of Tempe is definitely the neighborhoods. I've been in my neighborhood. I love my neighbors. I love my neighbors down the street, and even the neighbors 3 or 5 miles away that maybe aren't so much my neighbors, but they're still neighbors. And we are all Tempeans, and we need to make sure that we can keep the Tempeans that love Tempe and want to stay in Tempe. We need to make sure we get to keep them here. Rich, young, old, poor, small business owners, large business owners, our homeless neighbors. We have to make sure that they have a place to live here in Tempe and make sure we can keep them here. And that's what I'm aiming to do with, if I end up on City Council, and be that voice for everyone, for every Tempean. We have to respect Tempe's past and look to our current residents and Tempe's present residents and where we're going in order to understand where Tempe's future is going. And I promise I will keep that commitment, because that's where my heart is, that's where my neighborhood's heart is, that's where my other neighborhood leaders that support me, their heart is. We're trying to make sure we keep Tempe for Tempe in respects to having future residents coming in and helping them learn how to be what the excitement of Tempe is and what this uniqueness of Tempe is. So I hope I've earned one of your 3 votes in the upcoming election. You still have 5 days to vote, and you can drop off your ballot at the library or Tempe City Hall in the envelope, or if you have an issue with your ballot, you can still get one at Tempe or City Hall, and I really hope that you do cast one of your votes for me. If you still want to learn more about me, you can visit www.justinfortempe.com and learn about me a little bit more. And please, let's make this together. Let's make this about for the neighbors, by the neighbors, and make sure we protect, preserve, and rehabilitate our neighborhoods that we have. Thank you very much for your time today, and remember to vote for Justin Stuart.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Adams, and I'm running for Tempe City Council. I worked for the city of Tempe for 29 years, giving me a global perspective of the city. I worked in community services for 14 years, where I did marriage and family counseling and a lot of community outreach. I also helped with the critical incident stress management team for the fire and police. So when they went to bad calls, they would call me, and we would talk about the call and get them back on the job. I also was in public works, where I helped oversee streets, parks, transportation, light rail, engineering, all kinds of different public works activities that really given me a unique perspective of public works and the needs that we have in our community. Finally, I was in internal services, where I was a facilities maintenance manager. I managed a $7.5 million operating budget, and up to $5 million in capital improvement projects every single year. And that budget was always in the black. Not when I first took it over, though. For the first 6 months, it was in the red until I figured out what was going wrong, and I quickly turned it around to operate in the black. And for the 7 years that I oversaw that, it remained in the black. Over the past seven months, I have knocked on thousands of doors all over Tempe, and I've been reminded about what a great city this truly is. Listening to the concerns of the residents has given me an even greater sense of urgency to get you to vote for me for Tempe City Council. I have run this campaign on a shoestring budget because I have refused to take dark money. In fact, most of my donors are friends, relatives, or neighbors that I've known for many years. So I'm very thankful for all of your donations that you have made to our campaign. On my walk, talk, knock, and listen tours, I have learned so much about each Tempe neighborhood and how each neighborhood has its own unique needs and challenges. When I was in North Tempe, I heard you say you were concerned about high water rates, homelessness, roof rats, and the quality of our streets and parks. When I was in downtown Tempe, I heard your concerns about traffic congestion, homelessness, and development challenges. In South Tempe, I heard your concerns about the tiered water system and how it's really hurting our residents. In fact, many of them are having $1,000 water bills. I also learned about our poor street conditions and concerned about high-density housing. I also learned that we should be concerned about roof rats in South Tempe too, as I saw one last night in my front yard. I will work with each area for your unique concerns to work them out. I want to empower neighborhoods in decision-making processes. I want to promote small businesses, and in fact was recently endorsed by the Tempe Chamber of Commerce for my small business knowledge. And I want to improve our aging infrastructure. Another important point that I want to bring to you today is that I am committed to doing this job full-time. Unlike my other candidates and council members who work other jobs, I am going to dedicate 100% of my time to serving you, the residents of Tempe. I'm going to answer your phone calls. I'm going to meet you for coffee. I'm going to attend your neighborhood meetings and be available to you when you need me. I would like to sincerely thank my great group of volunteers for all their hard work. We have made thousands of phone calls, walked thousands of miles. We've had coffee in neighborhoods, and we've enjoyed a lot of coffee and Oreos in our own kitchen cabinet meetings, and had a lot of fun sharing our stories and our unique experiences meeting this great city of Tempe residents. If you have questions, please feel free to go to my website at adamsfortempe.com, or you can even give me a call on my personal cell phone number, which is 480-322-9116. Once again, that was 480-322-9116. It has been my greatest pleasure to run for office. My name is Jennifer Adams, and I would encourage you to go to my website at adamsfortempe to learn more about me. I hope to serve you for the next 4 years. Thank you so much, Tempe, for giving me the opportunity to run for this office.